Okay, so it's past now, so we will get started. I'll just do my little talk at the beginning, which gives anyone who wants to join a couple of extra minutes to log in. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire. I'm a Pilates teacher from Home Health Pilates. For those of you that I do know, if you're away, glad to see you this week. If you do want any more information about our Pilates session today, you've got any questions or you just want to know a bit more about Pilates, please feel free to look at the website, which is www.homehealthpilates.co.uk, and you can always contact me or my husband Michael there, and we will happily answer any questions for you. Just to say that when you're doing your exercising today, obviously you're exercising at your own risk. If you have been told not to exercise for any reason, please don't do the class. But obviously, if you are happy and healthy and you're told that you've been able to exercise, we'd love to have you. Like I always say at the start of any Pilates class, nothing we do in Pilates should hurt. If anything hurts or it doesn't feel right, please stop. Just lay down on the floor or stop what you're doing and wait for me to move on to the next move. If you do need to speak to me for any reason during the class, just unmute your microphone and speak to me, that's fine. I should be able to hear you. Obviously, if it's a burning question, you can speak to me at the end. But yeah, it shouldn't hurt. So if anything doesn't feel right, please just stop and wait for me to move on to the next move. There are a few movements that I'll be more specific about back problems and things like that, but I'll be talking you through those as we go anyway, so don't worry. And hopefully you'll have a good stretch and a good move today. Okay, so we'll get started. So you're just standing with your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, shoulders nice and relaxed. And focusing into your breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Focusing down into your feet and just making sure you've got your weight nice and evenly spread before we start. And imagining you've got your golden thread pulling you up towards the ceiling and really lengthening you through your spine. We're going to start off like we always do, just by relaxing those shoulders. So shrugging up towards your ears and relaxing down. Shrugging up and relaxing. And once more, shrugging up and relaxing down. And then gently rolling those shoulders back. Just trying to ease out any stress or any tension. And then changing direction and rolling forwards. Relaxing down and rolling your head from side to side. Bringing each ear up towards each shoulder. And taking your head all the way around. Changing direction. And bringing your head up into the centre. Looking up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. Looking up and down. And once more looking up and looking down. Bringing your head into the centre and looking from side to side. Bringing your head back into the centre. Turning your head 45 degrees to the right, looking back down towards the floor and up towards the ceiling. This time feeling your stretch running down the side of your neck and then into your shoulder. Back into the centre, and doing the same in the opposite direction, looking down and looking up. Bringing your head into the centre. Reaching your arms up, having a good stretch, and bringing them down. Reaching up, and coming down, and once more reaching up, and coming down. Good, so you're standing up nice and tall, your shoulders are relaxed. The next thing we're going to do is find your neutral spine, so placing your hands on your hips, and just rocking your pelvis backwards and forwards, making your movement smaller and smaller until you come to that point in the middle where you can't make your movement anymore. And that's finding your neutral spine. So you're standing up nice and tall, your shoulders are relaxed, you found your neutral spine. We're just pulling in those core muscles now. I want you to try and hold your core in throughout the whole of the class. And we're doing this by just imagining that you're squeezing into a tight pair of trousers. So not so much that you're having to hold your breath, but just enough you feel like you're holding those tummy muscles in. So you're standing up nice and tall, your shoulders are relaxed, you found your core, found your neutral spine. And finally, we're focusing into your breathing, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Remembering you're breathing into the top and the side of your chest now, because we've got those tummy muscles pulled in, so you shouldn't be breathing into your tummy. So you're standing up nice and tall, your shoulders are relaxed, you found your core and found your neutral spine. And as you're breathing out, coming up onto your tiptoes and back down towards the floor. Coming up and then down. And once more coming up and then down. Bring your arms up as you come up and down as you come back down. Reaching up and coming back down. And last time, reaching up and coming back down. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling nice and warm. So we're going to go into our first movement today, which is going to be our roll down. That's just to get all of those muscles moving in your back. So take a nice deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, you're slowly rolling down towards the floor, starting with your head and your neck. And you're rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep those arms hanging really loose. And when you do feel any tension, bend those knees, breathe in. And breathe out as you roll back up. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae. And back up into standing. Breathing out, rolling down. Feeling all of those little muscles in your back having a good stretch. And breathing out, rolling up. And once more. Rolling down. Remember, let those arms hang really loose so you get a good stretch of your neck as well as your back. And as you're rolling back up, you're stacking your vertebrae one by one, nicely back on top of one another, and coming up into your nice tall neutral spine. Going to add in a push-up now, so as you're breathing out, rolling down. And when you're ready, bending your knees and walking forward into your push-up position. Remembering you're breathing in as you push down and out as you push up. And then either walking back into a crouched position or keeping those legs straight, walking back up. Tuck your chin in towards your chest and roll up through vertebrae by vertebrae. And coming up into your nice tall standing position. Again, breathing out, rolling down. Walking forward into that push-up position. Breathing in as you push down and out as you push up. And then walking back. And rolling up through. And last time. Rolling down. Remember to breathe out as you push away from the floor. And again, walking back into that crouch position, or to stretch those hamstrings, keep your legs straight. Walk yourself back up, tuck your chin in towards your chest, and rolling up through. Coming up into your nice tall standing position, shoulders down, core pulled in. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, you're slowly rolling back down towards the floor and coming into a sitting position. So in that sitting position, you've got your soles of your feet touching each other and you're sitting up nice and tall. It doesn't matter how far away or how close your legs are in your sitting position, just make sure that you can really sit up in that nice tall neutral spine and you've got your weight nice and evenly balanced on both bottom cheeks. That's a sign that you're in good neutral. So you're sitting up tall, you're imagining now you've got your golden thread pulling you up towards the ceiling. And we're placing our hands in prayer position with your thumbs in towards your breastbone. Make sure you've got your core pulled in, take a nice deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, you're moving away, keeping your head and your neck in line. And breathing in as you come back into the centre. Breathe out as you move away. And breathe in as you come back. So this movement is just coming from the hip, you're hinging from the hip. You should be keeping your head and neck nice and still. If it helps, imagine you've got a neck brace on and you're just moving from the hips. And this movement is called the spine twist and it's very good for your upper back. You should be feeling that stretch in your upper back. It's a very, very small movement, but very, very good, particularly for those tense shoulders that have been hunched over desks and keyboards and things all day. So just remember that pattern of breathing. Breathing out as you move away and breathing in as you come back. I want you to imagine now you're like a corkscrew. And each time you're coming back into the centre, you're getting taller and taller. And if you make sure you do one more on each side, or an even amount on either side, and come back into the centre. Take a nice deep breath in, And as you're breathing out, you're rolling down towards your feet with your head and reaching for your feet with your hands. And rolling up. And coming up into that nice tall sitting position. We're just going to do a twist now, just to stretch out your back. So place your left hand onto your right knee, place your right arm behind you, and I want you to look over your shoulder. Back into the centre, doing the same on the other way. Right hand onto your left knee, left hand behind you, and looking over that shoulder and just stretching out your back. And back into the centre. Bring those arms up above your head, into your prayer position. And if you can, reverse your grip. And bringing those arms back behind you, fingers interlinked, palms in towards your spine. Just pull back on those shoulders. Try not to lean forward, keep your head and neck straight and just pull back on those shoulders. And relaxing down. Okay, so stretching out your right leg, putting your left foot onto your right thigh. Keeping your knee as straight as you can, I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, you're reaching down your legs as far as you can, making sure that you're able to keep your knee straight. If you're only able to get to your calf, it's absolutely fine, or your ankle. Just reach as far down your leg as you can whilst keeping that knee straight. And then lifting your other arm up, look up towards the ceiling and reach up and over. And then changing over, stretching out that left leg, putting your right foot onto the opposite thigh. Keep that leg nice and straight. And again, reaching as far down your leg as you can while keeping that knee straight. Lift your opposite arm up, look up towards the ceiling and reach up and over. And back into the centre. And stretching those legs out in front of you and give those legs a little shake, just release those hip flexors. Okay, so staying in this sitting position with your legs straight out in front of you, we're going to go into a spine stretch. So sit up as tall as you can, and I want you to imagine that you've got a broomstick across your tummy, and you're going to be reaching up and over the broomstick. So lift those arms up, take a nice deep breath in, and as you're breathing out, you're reaching up and over towards your feet, keeping those legs straight, and coming back up. Again, arms up, breathe in, reach up over the broomstick and over. And once more, up and over. And relaxing down. Good, again, just shake out those legs. Okay, then when you're ready, you're turning yourselves onto your backs and into your base 100 position. So that's laying on your back with your knees bent at 90 degrees and your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. We're going to be finding neutral on our backs for the first time today. So really focusing into the small of your back. And I want you to imagine you've got just enough room underneath the small of your back to put a silk ribbon through. Or if you'd rather check with your hands, your fingers shouldn't go any more than a quarter of the way underneath your back. So just having those palms turned up towards the ceiling to keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. And giving yourself a moment to focus into your breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Have a quick check of that core. And focus into that balance. As you're breathing out, you're lifting your right leg into your coffee table position. So just imagining that your heel is resting on a coffee table, holding it there. And focus into that neutral spine. Again, make sure that you've got just enough room to pull that silk ribbon through, or check with your hands. If you do want to increase the challenge now as you're breathing out, you can begin to slowly straighten your leg, but make sure that you're able to hold that neutral spine. If you do feel your back begin to arch, then squeeze in your stomach muscles and use your core to push against your back and counteract the arch. Or if it does feel too much, just bend that knee. And as you're breathing out, bending your knee and lowering down. On your next out breath, lifting your left leg into your coffee table position. And again, checking that neutral, thinking about your core. If you do want to increase the challenge, beginning to slowly straighten your leg. And again, just make sure that you're not feeling any arching or dipping in your back. You're able to hold it there with a good neutral spine. And as you're breathing out, bending your knee and lowering down. Okay, in a moment, we're going to be going for our 100 with both legs. Anybody having any trouble with their lower back today, I want you to continue just lifting one leg at a time. So lifting up one leg, holding it there for 50, so we're changing over, lifting the opposite leg and holding it there for 50. If your lower back is okay today and you want to have the challenge of 2 legs, then we're going to be lifting our right leg as you're breathing out, and then your left leg. Again, checking that neutral spine and thinking about your core. Once you've got that good position, coming into your beating movements with your hands, just imagine you're like a little chick and you're flapping up and down. You're trying to do 5 beats as you breathe in and 5 beats as you breathe out. We're holding this position for 100 beats. If you do want to increase the challenge, you can begin to straighten your legs. But remember, if it does feel too much for your back, just bend your knees or lower your legs down. Squeeze in that core, make sure there's no arching or dipping in your back. And think about that breathing. And when you've reached your 100, just bring your knees up towards your chest and give them a hug. And gently rock from side to side and massage that spine out on the floor. And then coming back into your base 100 position. So again, just checking that neutral spine, thinking about your core. The next movement we're going to be doing is the shoulder bridge, and that's just to help the mobility of the lower spine and to help ease out any tension. So you might want to move your feet a little bit closer in towards your bottom before we start, just to help with your balance. And then taking a nice deep breath in. As you're breathing out, you're pushing down through your lower back and you're peeling yourself away from the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring yourself up as high as you can and hold it there as you breathe in. And then breathing out as you push again, vertebrae by vertebrae. Back down into the floor. As you're breathing out, I want you to imagine that you're pushing down and you're peeling away. Imagine that that mat is made of Velcro and you're peeling away hook by hook and eye by eye. And as you're coming back down, I want you to imagine that your mat's made of plasticine and you're imprinting your spine into the mat. Really push through your back and come back into neutral. Remember to keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Don't let any tension creep into your neck or your shoulders. And this exercise should feel really nice. You should feel like you're having a good stretch of your back. Really push through your spine as you push back down into the mat and come back into neutral. If you want to add to the challenge now, you can begin to add in your arms. So as you're breathing out, you're pushing down and peeling away. Once you get to the top, hold it there, breathe in. Breathe out as you stretch your arms back behind you. Breathe in as they come back down by your side. And then breathe out as you're ready to push through your spine. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae. And back into neutral. So again, you're breathing out as you're pushing down and peeling away. Breathe out as you stretch your arms back. Breathe in as they come back down by your side. And breathe out as you push down through that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, and back into neutral. We're doing 2 more of those. Just pick whichever level you want to do. Make sure you're having a really good stretch of your back. And making the next one your last one, so make it your best one. And pushing through vertebrae by vertebrae, coming back into that neutral spine. Stretch those legs out in front of you and your arms back behind you and have a really good stretch. And then coming back into your base 100 position, ready for our next move, which is going to be the double leg stretch. So again, you've got your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, and your knees bent at 90 degrees. Keeping that core pulled in, and again, refocusing into your neutral. As you're breathing out, you're bringing your arms up towards the ceiling until your fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. And then you're going to be slowly drawing circles on the ceiling with your fingers. Breathe out as you move your circle away from you. And breathe in as the circle comes back towards you. As your arms go back, you may feel like your back wants to arch. If it does, squeeze in your core muscles and make sure you're counteracting the arch. And back the other way. Good. And lower those arms down. As you breathe out, lifting those arms back up towards the ceiling. And this time as you're breathing out, lifting your right leg into your coffee table position. Imagining that that heel is resting on a coffee table, you're holding it there. Keep that leg still, and as you're breathing out, continuing with your movement with your arms. So again, doing those lovely big circles, breathing out as you move away, and breathing in as you come back. Out as you move away, and in as you come back. Think about that neutral spine, don't let your back arch. And focus into your balance. If you want to increase the challenge again, you can begin to add some movement in with your legs. So as you're breathing out, stretch your leg away. Breathe in as you come back. Breathe out as you move away. And breathe in as you come back. Again, think about that neutral spine. Don't let your back arch. Squeeze in your core muscles to help counteract any arch. And once more. And lowering down. Back in your base 100 position, have a quick check of your neutral and your core again. And then as you're breathing out, lifting your arms back up towards the ceiling until your fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. And then you're drawing your circles in the opposite direction. Breathing out as you move away. And breathing in as you come back. Breathing out as you move away. And breathing in as you come back. Once more. And as you're breathing out, lifting your left leg into your coffee table position, hold it there. And continue with those circles. Really focus into your neutral again. And if you are finding it difficult to hold your neutral, you can always lower your leg back down. Again, if you want to increase the challenge, you can begin to add some movement in with your leg. Breathe out as you stretch your leg away, and breathe in as your leg comes back towards you. Breathing out, stretching away, and breathing in as they come back towards you. And once more. And lowering down. And again, stretch those legs out in front of you and your arms back behind you, and have a good stretch. And then when you're ready, you can turn yourselves onto your side, ready for your side kick. So stretching your arm back behind you and your legs out in front of you, and just glancing down at the tips of your toes so you know you're in a nice straight line. And relaxing those shoulders. I want you to close your eyes now and focus into your breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And imagining now you're being pulled from either end, you're going in both directions, really lengthening through your spine. Making sure that you're stabilising arm, you've got your palm resting down gently on the mat. And you've got your core pulled in before we start. As you're breathing out, lifting your top leg away from your bottom leg, but no higher than your hip, and hold it there. And if you want to increase the challenge as you're breathing out, you can bring your bottom leg up to meet your top leg. If you do feel you've got too much pressure running through your hip, you can always lower your bottom leg down. And if that doesn't improve it, you can always bend your bottom knee. As you're breathing out, moving your stabilising arm, placing it down the side of your body. And on your next out breath, bringing your arm over your head into a stretch and hold it there. Placing your arm back down on the floor and lowering your legs down one at a time. As you're breathing out, lifting your top leg away from your bottom leg. And on your next out breath, reaching your leg forward and breathing in as you come back. Breathing out as you go forward and breathing in as you come back. Remember to keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. And once more. And as you're breathing out, reaching your top leg up and breathe in as you lower. Out as you lift and in as you lower. And once more. And lowering down. And then on your next out breath, lifting your top leg and your bottom leg away from the floor. And going into your scissoring movements with your feet. So keeping those legs nice and straight. Just allowing your feet to pass each other in the air like a giant pair of scissors. And if you do want to increase the challenge, as you're breathing out, moving your stabilising arm and placing it down the side of your body. Really focus into that balance. And if you do feel like you're falling over, just place your arm back down on the floor. Making the next one your last one. And as you're breathing out, lowering down. Bring your arm over your head, grab your hands, and stretching out on your side. And placing your arm back down on the floor. And then bending your top leg and placing your foot or your knee on the floor in front of you. Keep your bottom leg as straight as you can. And as you're breathing out, lifting your bottom leg away from the floor and breathing in as you lower. Breathe out as you lift and breathe in as you lower. This is our inner thigh stretch. You should be feeling a stretch in your bottom and also in your inner thigh. And once more. Placing your top leg back on top of your bottom leg and pointing and stretching your toes. Then lifting your top leg away from your bottom leg, just draw some little circles with your foot and your ankle. Back the other way. And lowering down. Then when you're ready, turning yourself onto your other side, ready to do your side kick on the other side. So again, stretching that arm back behind you and your legs out in front of you and glancing down at the tips of your toes, or use the edge of your mat to help you line up. Rest your ear gently on your arm and make sure your neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. Again, just closing your eyes for a moment and focusing into your breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And imagining you're being pulled from either end, going in both directions, really lengthening through your spine. On your next out breath, you're lifting your top leg away from your bottom leg, no higher than your hip, and holding it there. And again, please do remember, if you feel you're having too much pressure in your hip, you can always bend that bottom leg. As you're breathing out, moving your stabilising arm and placing it down the side of your body. And then on your next out breath, bringing your arm over your head into a stretch. Placing your arm back down on the floor. And lowering your legs down one at a time. As you're breathing out, lifting your top leg away from your bottom leg. And on your next out breath, sweeping your leg forward and breathing in as you come back. Breathing out as you sweep forward and breathing in as you come back. Really focus into that balance and try to keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. And once more. As you're breathing out, lifting your top leg up towards the ceiling and breathing in as you lower. Breathing out as you lift and in as you lower. And once more. Lowering down. And then lift your top leg and your bottom leg away from the floor. And going into your scissoring movements with your feet. So again, keeping those legs as straight as you can, just allowing your feet to pass each other in the air like a giant pair of scissors. And if you do want to challenge your balance, as you're breathing out, moving your stabilising arm and placing it down the side of your body and continuing with your movement. And obviously, if you do feel like you're going to fall over, then place your arm back down on the floor. And making the next one your last one. As you're breathing out, lowering your legs down one at a time. And again, bringing your arm over your head, grabbing your hand, stretching out on your side. Placing your arm back down on the floor, and then bending your top leg and placing either your foot or your knee on the floor in front of you. Keeping your bottom leg as straight as you can. Breathe out as you lift, and breathe in as you lower. Out as you lift, and in as you lower. Again, this is our inner thigh stretch. You should be feeling a good stretch in your bottom and in your inner thigh of your moving leg. Two more. And the last one. Placing your top leg back on top of your bottom leg and pointing and stretching your toes. And then lifting your top leg away from your bottom leg and doing some little circles with your ankles and your feet. Back the other way. And lowering down. Then when you're ready, turning yourself onto your back and back into your base 100 position. So again, that's laying with your back on the floor, your knees bent at 90 degrees, and your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Again, think about that neutral spine. Make sure you've got that nice even space underneath the small of your back. And you've got your core pulled in. Okay, so we're going into our final move today, which is called the scissors. And this movement, as well as working those tummy muscles, will also help to strengthen that lower back. So we're going to start off, as you're breathing out, lifting your right leg into your coffee table position, hold it there, breathe in, and lower down. And change over, breathe out as you lift your left leg, breathe in as you lower. So just lifting and lowering, alternating those legs to start with. And you're really thinking about that neutral spine. If it helps, put your hand on your hips, or your hands on your hips, should I say. And just make sure that you're keeping that nice neutral spine, you're nice and steady. Keep putting those feet on the floor for a moment while you find your rhythm. And don't forget to breathe. So if you find that you're holding a nice steady neutral now and you want to increase the challenge, you can begin to allow your feet to pass each other in the air but placing one foot down on the floor in between the movements. So again, really think about those shoulders. You'll find your shoulders will want to tense up. So really relax those shoulders and squeeze in your core muscles. Make those tummy muscles focus into that back. Don't let your back arch or dip into the floor. And if you want to increase the challenge again, you can begin to allow your feet to pass each other in the air, this time just touching your toe on the floor. So you're still thinking about that lower back, put your toe on the floor, it'll just take that pressure off your lower back for a second. Obviously, if it does feel too much, go back to putting your foot on the floor in between. But you'll really feel those tummy muscles working now. So squeeze in that core, shoulders nice and relaxed. And then to go for the full scissors now, you can just allow your feet to pass each other in the air, and you don't need to put your foot on the floor in between. Obviously, if you feel that back arching and you need to put that toe down, it's fine, or your foot down. But by keeping your feet away from the floor all the time, you're really working those core muscles. You should be feeling those tummy muscles working now, and those hip muscles. Well done, everyone. And just doing 2 more, or making sure you've done an even amount on either side. And bringing those knees up towards your chest and giving them a hug. Staying in that base 100 position, I want you to stretch your arms out to the side, bring your feet and your knees together, drop your hips and knees to one side, and turn your head in the opposite direction. Back into the centre, and doing the same in the opposite direction. Just stretching out your back. Coming back into the centre. Again, bring those knees up towards your chest, give them a hug. And when you're ready, finding a comfortable position ready for your relaxation. So closing your eyes, focusing into your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Focusing down into one particular part of you, you feel you've worked really hard today. Maybe you feel it's your stomach, maybe you feel it's your hips or your legs. Just focusing down into that one particular part of you and really letting it relax. As you're breathing out any stress or any tension you've been feeling. Either from your class today, or from your day or your week in general, just letting it all go as you're breathing out. And imagining now you've got some relaxation like light or like water, spreading down through your body and helping you to relax. So you can feel your relaxation spreading down through your head and down through your neck. Across your shoulders and down into your back. Feeling your relaxation spreading down through your upper arms and into your elbows. Down through your lower arms and into your wrists. And feeling your relaxation flowing into your hands and then out through your fingers. Feeling your relaxation spreading down through your chest and down through your rib cage. Down through your stomach and then around into your lower back. Feeling your relaxation spreading down through your hips and through the pelvis. Down through your bottom and into your thighs. And feeling your relaxation spreading into your knees. Feeling your relaxation spreading down through your shins and through your calves. Down through your ankles and into your feet. And finally feeling your relaxation flowing out through your toes. So you're feeling completely relaxed now from your head to your toes. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just enjoying that feeling of being relaxed. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. Having one last really good stretch. Take a good few deep breaths, get that oxygen back round again. And then if you are laying down in your own time, gently sitting up. And that's our class done for today. Thanks everyone.